are you?
Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello. Hello, Zeddy. How are you?
I am doing very well. I'm not a degenerate. I did not wake up half an hour ago for this at all. And my sleep schedule is not always messed up. But yeah, no, it's awesome to be here. I'm a big fan of the Heart Queen.
Yes, thanks. I appreciate
You're my go-to when I can't sleep. You're up like ridiculously early because you're Eastern. You go on before work, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch some Heart Queen, and maybe I can fall asleep. And yeah, usually you're off to work before I even fall asleep. So, yeah.
Oh no! At least in the morning, I have like my coffee voice, super like, "Hey guys."
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yes, 6 a.m. stream. Yeah, yes. Okay. So first question, Zeddy. I wanted to know, because I mean, I think most people know you. You're like an icon as a Hearthstone streamer. But if you can tell us a bit about yourself, because maybe some people don't know you. Who knows? So tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a Canadian like you. I have no background in card games before Hearthstone. I was just I came from a small town, and then I'm in Soyuz, BC. It's like 2,000 or 3,000 people when I back there. It's like the only hot desert in Canada, by the way. And then yeah, I just eventually transitioned to Vancouver, the big city of Vancouver, and became an accountant and all that. And then I had a really bad back injury that led me bedridden for like over a year. And I found solace in Hearthstone and Twitch to help me recover. I was like always in Crip's chat, like all the time. Became a moderator for Crip, and I would like duel him on stream. And yeah, that back injury just kept me from going to work, doing anything, and all that stuff. And I got really into Hearthstone, and I used Hearthstone streaming. I'll try this while I recover. And then I fell in love with that, and I'm not an accountant anymore. I was literally one exam away from getting my CPA.
Oh,
and
no.
now if I want to get my CPA, I have to do everything again.
Oh, no.
It's not a big deal, but I was kind of sad. But I was when the back injury happened, I had just finished my last. There's like all these modules you have to do. You have to do like a tax assurance. You have to do like this general one, and then the capstone 1 and 2 is like got to do a presentation in front of like a board of CPAs. I did that while completely hopped up on pain medication. I remember it. I was so out of it, but apparently I did a good job, and I passed it, flying colors. And then the last thing is the final exam, and I just no way I could prepare for it because I was on pain meds. I only got out of bed. That was the first time I got out of the house in like 3 months to do that presentation. And yeah, so I just stream Hearthstone and been doing that since. And I don't know, I don't feel the need to go back to accounting or anything like that. I love content creation. I've always wanted to be an entertainer, if you want to call it that. And it's really fun, and I really enjoy it. And the community is awesome. Everything about it's great, except sometimes I get a little bit mad about the game, of course. But that's just me.
Well, I think you're doing a great job at entertaining people. So good job on this. Okay, so it's been, did you say 4 years that you're a streamer?
I was 4 years in October.
Okay.
Last October. I had just started, yeah.
But you played Hearthstone since the beginning of the game?
No, I started... So yeah, I discovered what Twitch was in 2015. I was like, watch people play video games on, this is stupid. What is this site? And then I'm like, what's this? I'm looking at the top games, and I recognize most of them. Like, what's Hearthstone? I don't even know what this is. And I see this guy named Crip, and I'm like, what? This game's free to play. All right, I'll try it. I need something to do while I'm studying, because I was studying for my accounting degree at the time. And yeah, so this was like right around after GVG had launched. I think the Undertaker just been nerfed, and that's when I started playing. And I'm like, this game is stupid. It's pay to win. I uninstalled it after one day, and then I got bored and reinstalled it 2 days later, and yeah, then I got hooked.
Wow. Okay. And okay. So you've been playing Hearthstone since. I mean, did you stop at one point or not?
I stopped for 2 weeks during
2 weeks.
Mean Streets of Gadgetzin, because Patch's Small Time Buccaneer would not stop hitting me in the face. It pissed me off. I'm like, I'm taking a break. And then they nerfed Small Time Buccaneer and I came back. That's the only time I've ever stopped. I still hit Legend that month. I basically have hit Legend on ladder every month since September of 2015. And ever since they introduced Wild, pretty much both formats every single month.
And Classic?
So, Classic, there's 1 month I didn't get Legend, because, yeah, other than that, I pretty much get Classic Legend every month. I'm currently not there yet, but we usually get there by the end of the month. And I know you do a lot of that too. You're the triple Legend thread as well. Just Canadians, you know?
Yes, exactly. No, well, triple Legend for me is just what's like with the new mode getting in. I just wanted to do it just to prove to myself I was able to do it, and then it's a bit addictive to get the tree legends.
Yeah, me and Heart Queen, we faced once on Classic Ladder.
Yes, we did.
And I was super favored, Miracle Rogue versus Control Warrior, and she kicked my ass.
It's true.
It happened on stream. It's been documented. I got absolutely whooped.
Okay, and so which one is your favorite mode? In between
It depends. It really just depends. I mean, honestly, if it's at its peak for me, it might even just be Arena. Like I started Hearthstone as watching Crip and playing Arena because I didn't spend any money for the first like half a year, and I built a bit of a collection playing Arena, and I really enjoyed Arena at the beginning, just because it's one of those modes where you could outplay your opponent a lot of the time because you don't have a specific deck. A lot of times you have to take advantage of just bad cards, and I like that. Whereas on like Ladder, you don't really have that. It's like, are you the best at the meta deck or whatever? And so when peak Arena for me might actually be my favorite mode, but I guess I would go with Standard. I don't know. I like I like all the modes when they're at their peak. Like it's just when the meta is bad, then it just depends on the expansion, the balance patch that's going on. But I don't know. Arena always stands out to me as just kind of like, I don't know, maybe nostalgia for me. But I'd say Standard, when it's finely tuned, is pretty awesome. But some of my favorite moments have happened in Wild too, so it's hard to say. Classic, I'll say not for sure, because I don't know, the Classic meta is just too basic. I want to see like I want to get to Angoro or Old Gods. That would be sweet, but it's not bad. It's just not quite the other modes.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like for me, I do the Classic Legend, but it is such a pain to do it because
it's like 3 decks really. It's yes. Zoo, Druid, Miracle Rogue, and sometimes a Control Warrior. Other than that, yeah, exactly. Bully. Although I usually like queuing into them. I usually do.
No, it just it's funny, and I do it just to get the triple legend.
Yeah.
But yeah, though definitely Classic is not my fave, but it's very interesting because I feel that people are like you see, it's the real diehard fan that play Classic. Like I don't think new players go right away into Classic because like it's decks that have been proven and it's been a long time. People have been playing them for a long time. So
and also like you have to have the cards, and it's not easy to get Classic cards unless you're opening really old packs, and most people, with all the different ways to use your gold now, with like mercenaries in there and the battlegrounds pack, it's hard to justify trying to get into Classic.
So yeah, you did mention Battleground and Mercenaries. Do you play Battleground and Mercenaries?
Yeah, Mercenaries not really. Although I put out a video today, hashtag self-promotion, of showing how to gain XP in Mercenaries without really doing anything. But no, I played Mercenaries when it came out. I gave it a good try, but it's not for me at all. It's really slow, grindy. The single player stuff is just not rewarding at all. The PvP, I just don't really care that much about. I know some people really like it, and I'm glad for them and happy for them, and it's just not for me. Battlegrounds, I played a lot when it came out. I was actually leaderboard NAEU very early on. I got to 10,000 MMR 1 point, and then they made achievements, and I became the achievement guy. And to get a lot of the Battlegrounds achievements, they're like almost impossible. So I put my MMR from, I was at 9,800 to 0. I tanked my entire MMR just so I could get like the hard achievements easier. And I still play it, but my MMR is so shot I can't play competitively anymore. So I just play it casually. But I think it's a great mode, and I definitely play it here and there. And whenever there's new heroes, I get the achievements done. And I like to play everything, but yeah, for me, Mercenaries is the only mode that's really just, it doesn't really feel like Hearthstone to me. And there's just some things that I don't know, feels icky that I don't really like. So I just don't really do it.
Okay, interesting. And okay, so we talked a bit about like all the different modes, and you mentioned different servers. So you play on EU and NA.
I used to play on all three back in my early streaming days. I'd play NA, EU, and Asia. You can't access China unless you do some shenanigans, and I don't want to do that. I would hit Legend and Standard, Wild on NA, EU, and Asia. I would do it 6 times a month, and this is when it was you would go to rank 17. So you'd have to go from rank 17 to Legend. I would do this every month. I don't know. I used to stream like 12 to 16 hours a day back at, like, I grinded really hard early on, and I would do that. And the Asia account was completely free to play. The EU, I think I had bought like an adventure and like a welcome bundle. And I would do that, and I got to like top 100 Legend on every single server. And I maintained my EU for quite a long time. I have like 3 1,000 win portraits over there, but once they introduced the battle pass, I'm like, I can't keep up with the rewards track on the multiple servers. I don't think I wanted to max the NA one out. It's my main account, so I just kind of ditched it. So the whole battle pass thing actually de-incentivized me from trying to maintain multiple server accounts, because for some reason you can't share your collection across it, which I don't know, I always thought it was a bit silly. But yeah, so lately just NA, but I used to do like 3 of them back in the day.
Yeah, you're right. It's something I wish we could do, like have our same collection on the different server and not have to grind the 3 server to get the cards. Because like the meta is so different on different server that like it's interesting sometimes to switch from one to the other. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have the card collection, it's a bit difficult.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've seen Igzar talk about it as amazing. Like, seems to think of it like we have the technology isn't there for why they don't have it. That it's not a monetary reason, but I don't know, it'd just be really nice. And then you could play with like friends on other servers and stuff. But they did add that feature at least where you can share decks. So if you want to do a friendly match against somebody and you don't have cards, you can play against them. But yeah, the metas can be different, or like it's kind of fun to just play on a different MMR level. Sometimes like you could have like your tryhard server and then your server where you just play stupid stuff and you're less likely to face the frustrating meta decks all the time, you would hope, at like, lower ranks.
Okay. Yeah, of course. No, I agree. And okay, so I asked chat what question would they want to ask you, and one of the questions that popped up was if you like, for someone that is starting streaming, since like it's been a long time that you stream, like do you have tips, like do you have a top 5 tips for someone that is starting streaming?
So if you're starting streaming, first just do it because you want to do it. That's the main thing. Like, don't go into it with any expectation of making money, making your job. anything like that. Just do it because you want to try and do it. It's fun, right? Like you, you know, like that's the main reason I started. I had people that talk to me like in Crips Discord. They're like, "Oh, you sound like a smartass. You might be funny to watch stream." So, and you seem okay at the game. And they were wrong about both. But anyways, I did that, but yeah, just do it because you want to do it. That's the main thing. Otherwise, second, like, I mean, Engine's in chat. He just got partnered, and I don't think he's been streaming that long. So like, you know, you can start relatively new if you find that niche and do okay. Like, he streams Wild, which isn't even a mode apparently, according to some people on Twitter, right, Engine? Anyways, pick like something that you're passionate about. So like if you really like Wild or Standard or Battlegrounds or Mercs or whatever, stream that, do it regularly for your audience to expect. Or if you want to be like yourself or myself, where we like to do the variety thing and stream all the modes, but have your audience basically expect to know what they're going to tune into every day. It's just good to have that expectation, because if you're doing like one game and then another game or something, it's almost impossible to pull that off. So keep your stream focused. I say try and stream at the same time as often as you can. Like, you might have a school or a job, you can't do it full time, but whenever you do stream, try and do it at a similar time. And also just go to other streams and talk to other streamers, and typically smaller streamers is a better idea. Don't be like, can I get a raid? Can I get this and that? Just talk about their day and mention that, oh, I've been streaming and stuff. Because basically, I don't know, for me, whenever any chatter talks about the fact that they stream or anything and they just bring it up, I will basically always try and raid them. Like, I don't know, or shout them out and try and get them affiliate. Like, I don't know, anytime I see any smaller streamer starting out, I try and help, because I know how hard it is to get out there. And so I feel like just hang out in other like-minded communities. You can talk about what you're doing, but never ask for a raid, never ask for a host. Just you know, talk about it, and that helps. And maybe people in chat will just see that you're a streamer and or trying, that might follow you, and you might gain 1 or 2 viewers, and that's how you slowly grow. So I recommend, yeah, just hang out, try and be social, talk about the fact you're streaming, but don't, again, asking for a raid is just a big no-no. Then once you ask for that, then I don't want to do anything like that. It's just,
I've never seen someone ask for raid though.
I've had the follow and can you raid me, and
wow.
It's like I raid like pretty much anybody as long as you just mention you're streaming. I basically always refuse to raid someone bigger than me. I don't know. I just, even though like sometimes I'll throw like Asmo host, not that he needs it, but he's giving me huge raids, or Theo, because, well, his channel is dying and he's terrible, so I gotta help him a little bit. But you know, that's just a shot at Theo because I love Theo. But yeah, no, it's weird that some people are weird about it. So
well, yeah. I mean, I can understand why you like. It's kind of like, it's a bit bizarre to ask someone to get a raid. I think it's very like organic, and it's really like, I think Twitch did a great, like, it's such a great tool for people to like to know to be able to know more people in different categories, even of, it's not even on this in the same game, sometimes people raid you.
yeah, you never know. And that can be a lot of fun too. And I think being social on Twitch is just a really good thing. I'm everywhere, it feels like, and I mean, I'm just passionate about the community and the game, and I like to just hop around. But I feel like it's helped me too, because I've got to get to know so many cool people, including yourself, and it helps grow your network and helps grow your stream in the long run, and just also create relationships. And for when we can hopefully finally start seeing each other, like at TwitchCon next year, it'd be really cool to actually see people in person, because I've never met anybody from the Twitch world, whether it be a viewer, streamer, anything.
No.
I've not met a single person yet, so that'd be really cool.
For real? Never.
Not a single person in 4 years. I also rarely leave the house these days, but okay. Yeah, I've not met. I mean, I'm like in Vancouver, there's a couple streamers around here, but just never happened.
Wow. Wow. I mean, this is like golden information.
Yeah. Who's gonna be that first one? Who's it gonna
Me.
be?
I want to be the
Yes.
first one.
There you go. We're gonna make it happen. Gonna make it happen.
This is gonna be so fun. I told you I have plans to come to Vancouver, so be ready for that.
I will be. Me and Nova, we're prepared.
Good. Well, Bloom is not gonna make the trip though.
Oh.
Yes.
Well,
Bloom
we
is
can Skype with Bloom or whatever.
Perfect.
and
Love
get
it.
them involved. Yes.
Love it. Good. So you were talking about the community, the Hearthstone community, and the Twitch community, and so like for me, I didn't know there was a community until January of last year.
Yeah.
Of this year, sorry, January of this year. So it's been a year almost that I know that there's a Hearthstone community out there. And I mean, it's an amazing community. I love it's I've been missing out all these years on this fabulous community. But so how do you perceive the Hearthstone community compared to like the community of other games? Because I know you've you know different games and you've been involved also in like just for fun sometimes. So can you compare it with other community or can you do like a metaphor of the community?
It's weird. So there's different facets of the Hearthstone community. There's like, I feel like the more casual like content creator side of things, like you have like the Regises and the Kibblers and all these people, and then you have like the audience for that, and they're all very fun. They feel pretty outgoing, friendly, sociable, and I love that side of it. And then there's like this darker side of the Hearthstone community. It's like the degenerate pro tryhard scene, like the guys that like grind the ladder, and they can actually be really like, I don't know, I find like sometimes detrimental or like mean. And then these kind of clash because they're all in the same type of game. And so you have like these people that just wanted to have like a lot of fun in Hearthstone and do all these fun things, and then you have these guys that just want to win, and those things don't go together. So it's like sometimes you get these butting heads of like people, I don't know, this is more of like a Twitter thing, I guess, where they like, people will like crap on people for wanting just to have fun and not like get their deck ticketist or whatever, right? They don't want their cards deleted. That's not fun. And then there's like this whole like different level. So I can't think of it. I don't know if there's other games out there that have like this really fun, crazy, awesome like community that comes together that's like just wants to like enjoy the whimsical, fun parts of a game. And then this whole pro tryhard seems like, just no, it's like you're stupid for having that feeling. It's
No.
weird. But I know League apparently, like I've heard from like tons of people that like if I think our scene is degenerate at all or mean at all, go play League of Legends or something like that, and it's just awful. I guess Magic would be similar because it's a card game or any other card game, but yeah. I think the community is great, and I'm not trying to crap on the pros. A lot of them are amazing and stuff. It's just I always feel bad when like people get undermined for not being like great at the game or something like that. I try and like stick up for people that feel like they might be being pooped on a little bit for that. But I've just seen it a lot lately, especially in this meta where it's very oriented around like these super optimized decks, and all the fun decks get pushed out. So I see a lot of these people struggling. So I guess that's why it resonates a bit more with me right now. But overall, the community is amazing. Like it's the fact that the game's been around for since 2014, I think it officially launched. Beta was like 2013. It's been almost a decade, and I know it's not thriving like it used to, but it's not dying. It's doing fine. And there's people coming in every day that are new still, and I feel like most of them feel very welcomed, and it's fun. And even for someone salty like me that's always looking at the critical and negative side of things a lot of the time, that I feel like people are still enjoying that. They can enjoy that perspective of like, how can we improve things, how could things change, and also celebrating the good. And I love the community. I mean, it's just, they let me sit in my pajama pants, which I'm wearing Star Wars ones right. I'm actually fully Star Wars right now. I'm such a dork. that do that for a living, just playing this game is amazing. And I don't have to. I don't even really have, like, I do sponsorships here and there, but I don't even really need to do that to pay my bills and all that stuff because the community is just so insane. So I think it's a great one. It's hard to compare to other stuff. Like I follow Mario stuff a lot, Mario speedrunning, Mario Maker. That's probably the main community I've followed. Besides that, it's like one of my little side hobby passions is speedrunning, and that's all about just having fun and beating games quickly. But even there's drama and cheating and all that stuff. So I don't know. There's always issues with every community, but there's also usually amazing things with every community. And I would say that Hearthstone overall is just, it's an amazing community that it's changed my life forever. It's incredible.
Yeah, I agree. Same for me. Hearthstone has changed my life forever, for sure. Okay, so I know you've been using a lot of Twitter as a social media. I think it's your favorite social media. How, like to amplify and everything about the streaming and the game, like, how do you think it's the best use of social media, and why do you think it's important for a streamer to use social media?
Twitter basically does almost nothing. I'll be honest. Twitter is, it's just, Twitter for me is just somewhere I can, like, I like to shitpost. I like to troll and meme, and I don't want to go to the Hearthstone subreddit anymore because I don't know what's happened over there. But I used to do that all the time over there, but it's just super nasty lately. Like, ever since I think the Free Hong Kong thing happened, it's just been vile. It's been vile there ever since then. And I just like to put memes and shitpost on Twitter. Like 99% of my tweets are just me having fun and saying stupid stuff and memeing. And yeah, sometimes I'll have like the angry tweet during my stream because, well, it's a way to vent, but you don't really get much exposure for a stream through Twitter. Like, it just doesn't work that way. People don't read a tweet and follow you and then typically head over to your stream, I don't think. The best social media usage, at least for me, like YouTube, like 100% for me has been YouTube. Twitch has terrible discoverability. It's really hard. Like, I got a partner on Twitch. It took me it took a year straight, and I had the head start of being a crit mod, and I got a bunch of big raids from like Asmo. I did duels against Crip on my stream. Like, I definitely had some help. Thea hosted me a lot, and the game was doing better then too. But once I started doing YouTube, like a year and a half ago now, my viewership doubled. My subs like triple, quadrupled on Twitch. You just bring in a lot more people, and YouTube has way better discoverability if you can get in their algorithm and all that stuff. And before YouTube, I was not making enough through streaming and all that stuff to even pay my bills. Like, it was just not happening. And now through using YouTube to help amplify my Twitch and all that, now I'm doing really well. I've heard people say TikTok is really good for discoverability. I have no idea. I heard Hearthstone TikTok has been doing well. I've seen Sunglitters try. But yeah, for social media, for me, it's like YouTube is like the best way to grow as you're like a content creator. And yeah, like Twitch discoverability just isn't there. Like, there's no way to really find, like, the only way people find you is that they manually search your game and find you at the very bottom or near the bottom if you're new, right?
Yes.
So that's just, and like, to see how well you've done, like, I don't know how you like promoted yourself early on, but I think it's incredible how quickly you've grown yourself to, like, we were talking a little bit before, like, near partner levels already, and you haven't been doing it for a year, and you don't have a big tournament you've been in or featured in like a big thing or anything. It's just been working your butt off and working a full-time job. I don't understand how you do it. So props to you. If you want to learn how to build your stream, honestly, Heart Queen is probably a better person to ask. I think you've done a great job, and I'm a big fan.
That's really sweet, Zeddy. But it's difficult, but I just do it because, like, the community is so awesome. It makes me go through the day. Like, it's like you can do this. Go, go, go. So yes, no, the community is like the best thing, and the thing that made me want to continue every day for sure. But
I mean, you're part of that. You're part of the reason that also helps give people that reason to keep going, especially your positive energy. It's infectious. It's infectious.
Thanks. That's really sweet. So I had other questions from chat. Some are a bit a bit funny, but let's deep into it. So one of the questions my chat had for you was, do you like cheese?
Cheese. I like cheesing things in the game. I like Swiss cheese. I like mac and cheese. I'm a basic mac and cheese guy, you know. Cheese is good. I like cheese. I don't like if you like cut the cheese in front of me or anything. That's kind of yeah. But other than that, cheese is good.
You don't like it when we cut cheese in front of you?
You know, people, you know, stink it up. The whole isn't that the slang for farting? I have no idea.
Yes.
I'm an old man.
Sorry, it's okay, guys. Lost in translation.
Yeah. I don't know. Je ne parle pas français. I don't know how to say it in French, you know?
I'm sorry. Yes, Destruct told me about this already, and I forgot.
There we go.
Okay, so, but okay, so you do like cheese, but
of course.
Okay, so every time you go to the grocery store, do you buy cheese? I mean,
not
is it
every
part of
time.
your essentials?
I pretty much usually I'll get like even just like a marble or like an old cheddar or your cream cheese. I'll put that on a sandwich sometimes, you know. Pretty much, yeah. And when I order food, it usually has like a cheeseburger, like a ham and Swiss sandwich, you know. A Caesar salad has cheese in it, you know. It's got grated cheese, Parmesan cheese. So much cheese.
Good. Well, for everyone that doesn't know me, I am a big cheese lover, and I eat cheese on stream every stream, so that's why there needed to be a cheese question here. And the other a bit funny question was, do you like coffee?
No.
You don't like coffee?
I went through accounting, my degree, and also working 60 to 80 hour weeks during busy season. Zero coffee. I just don't. I tried it once, I think, and I just didn't like it, and I didn't bother again. But I do have caffeine. I do the worst thing. I have like pop. Like it's terrible. It's sugar. It's awful. But I do that, and I've been having like hot chocolates and stuff, like Tim Hortons hot chocolates and stuff like that. But
do you drink tea?
No, I'm such a coffee tea. I'm more open like green tea. I guess I'll have like green tea with like sushi and stuff. But I'm not a coffee and tea guy. At least I keep having like my mom telling me I should do that, and my ex was always after me to do that too, and I just never got into the coffee game. I probably would like it if I have iced cappuccinos like from Tim Hortons all the time. That's just sugar too. I'm very much into sweets. I love sweets, and it's not good for you, and it's catching up to me, but I can't help it.
It's good that you're a sweet person and I'm a salty person.
There we go. we gotta get the sweet with the salt, otherwise it doesn't balance out, right?
Yes. Okay, so you mentioned your mom. So let's go back to a more serious question. So how does your parents feel like about you being a streamer? Are they okay with that? Do they understand?
My parents have always been super supportive of everything I've ever done. I was lost for like from after high school. I didn't even go to like secondary school for like 2011 is when I went back to school, so that would have been like 8 years in between, and they're fine with it. I even lived with them for quite a bit after, and they're fine with me going to the accountant thing. My mom was super proud of me when I got my degree, and then when I basically quit and did this, didn't really understand what it was, but they didn't really question it. They were supportive, and my mom has been a huge help to try and like keep me together behind the scenes with a lot of stuff that's gone on the past year or so. And my dad's always super supportive, and my mom shows up in chat, not as much as yours. Your mom is like very committed viewer. But my mom will show up, she'll lurk, she does her Prime sub every month, and is a big supporter and checks out the videos and reads my Twitter, which terrifies me. But no, she's a huge supporter, and yeah, she doesn't even, she's watched my stream a ton. She still has no idea what's happening in the game, like no idea. She doesn't understand Hearthstone at all, but she's still a giant supporting fan, and as is my dad. And I'm very lucky to have my parents around still together and be as amazingly supportive they have this entire time of everything I've done. It's very lucky, and most people don't get that. So I'm just very grateful, you know.
That is so great. Do they live in Vancouver?
Yeah, they live, my mom and dad are about a 15-minute drive from me. They used to be in Osoyoos, which was like a 4 or 5 hour drive, but they moved here to when my sister had her first son. They wanted to be closer to, you know, be with him and stuff. So now they're really close. And my sister is like a 5-minute walk from their place. So we're all really close knit. We're all very close together. So it's kind of nice.
Good. Yeah, my mom is a big supporter of me streaming and everything, but my dad thinks I play poker. He thinks I play poker. Because he's like, you play games. You play...
It's what you know. It used to be called, people used to call it wizard poker. So you're basically playing poker.
So yeah,
there's even a YouTube channel, if you ever look it up, called Wizard Poker. I used to watch it back in the day. They would do all these Hearthstone drama videos back when the scene was. They had like we had Mason versus Wreckful, and Rip Wreckful. I hate when I have to bring it up. It's sad, but they had like the view botting controversy at Raynad and all these Hearthstone peak drama back when Hearthstone was like just chatting, man. That was some prime stuff. So yeah, we used to call it Wizard Poker, and there was a good old drama channel. I miss that stuff. I try and make drama here and there, and then nobody wants to take part. They call you toxic. It's like, oh, can't have fun, you know? All right.
Okay, and so what would happen if Hearthstone would like stop tomorrow? What would happen? Like if they say like we close the game, you're not able to play anymore.
I'd be out over $10,000 worth of cards because it's tied to your account and it's gone forever. I mean, I'd have to look for a new game to cover and see if I could make that work. If it literally just shut down, I guess I would have to move on, and I'd be very sad. As much as I have problems with the current game and all that stuff, I still like play every day. I look forward to playing every day. I enjoy the game, and yeah, it'd be a very sad day because there's so many amazing people in both the community, on the dev team, everywhere worldwide that love playing it. And I would just, yeah, I would try and help like fund a way of getting private servers or public servers for people to restore Hearthstone to play it, and then we could make it our own thing. We could balance it our own way, and then we'd see how terrible our ideas are, and like, oh, maybe the devs weren't as clueless as some of us thought, you know? But yeah, we'd give it a shot.
Yes, it's definitely not easy to be in their shoes sometimes.
No.
And so let's dig deep into Hearthstone a bit more, into this new expansion. So let's go in a positive way of saying like, which card is your favorite one of this expansion?
So United in Stormwind?
Yes.
Was it Find the Imposter is the rogue quest? Once that got revealed, I thought it was super cool. It's funny, people are like, it's a bunch of random. I'm like, yeah, it's the cool kind of random. It's a selective pool of random. And yeah, Find the Imposter, the rogue quest, is like always like how I like the quests to be when they make quests. Limited value. You have to play cards you wouldn't necessarily play before. I've heard the argument, oh, you just put SI cards into your deck. How often do you run SI cards in any deck right now? Like you have to make that work. And then you get to your reward, which is really cool. With scabs, you get all these gizmos. And it's just, you can build a win condition that's answerable. Like you can stealth a big guy. Well, if your opponent has a board clear, you might be able to wipe that out and stuff. And I find the flavor is really fun. The deck is really fun to play. And it's everything that I feel is right about when they do quests. It's very reminiscent of the old Doom quests. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was really hard to play it when Warlock was really good for a very long time early on. And then Quest Mage as well, because they just get dunked on by it. But lately, I went like, I think 11 or 12-1 to Legend with it. So that was really fun. It's funny, winning makes me have fun with these cards. But yeah, I really like the Rogue quest, the Imposter quest. And I'll say my favorite card from the mini set, since we just had the Dead Mines mini set, is a toss-up between two legendary cards. There's like the Cookie the Cook, I think, the Shaman legendary. I just think it's really cool to have all the lifesteal stuff. And this is outside of Arena. I like the Sneeds card. This like the 8-mana, the big mech that can multi-target things, which have never been done in Hearthstone before. And that's really cool. It's just unplayable in the current meta because it's too slow and it's kind of wrecking Arena. But I think the card is cool.
Yes,
and,
it is.
Yeah, so yeah, I've been really enjoying those cards in the set for sure. What about you? What's your favorite card the Quest Mage and they're nerfing it? Because you're always playing that.
Yes. I love Quest Mage, and I'm super sad. It was such a sad day when like they announced the nerf. I'm like, it's not even the problem in the meta. Why is Quest Mage the problem? It is not the problem.
It's because I bitched about it way too much.
But it's not the problem. That's the thing.
The thing about the reason I would think they're mainly addressing it is because it's such a polarized deck. Like it's not particularly great, but it just auto beats so many strategies that people like to try and do, like slower control, mid-range. It just destroys them, but it loses really hard to everything else. So the only reason it's kind of not a problem is because the meta is so aggressive and so OTK and
I've been playing it.
Yeah, I know. I tried getting Legend with it. I was frustrated. I'm like, I'm just gonna try everything. And I couldn't win. I just kept getting killed by everything playing it. But yeah, it's getting nerfed anyways. And I get it. It's but yeah, for people that love that deck, that really, really sucks. I still think it'll be playable. I don't think it's unplayable. It's just worse and it's already struggling. So it's not looking good. And Mage also really sucks too. Like they have nothing else going on. And I love Mage. Mage is one of my most played classes.
Why are we nerfing Mage? That's the real question.
I would have liked to see them buff some stuff to go along with it at least, but yeah.
Ignite,
we'll see,
a bigger Ignite.
That is not the answer I wanted to hear.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
The infinite fireball.
Yeah. So much fun. Infinite Jade Idol to my face.
Yes. And I've been loving Antonidas, the new one.
Yeah, I see you're always running that. That card's really cool, and I would love to see that. But like the optimalists never run that card. It's like
I know, and every time a new chatter comes in, and he's like, "Why are you running that? It is so bad." And then every time someone says that, I'm able to play it and kill my opponent with it, and I'm like,
why.
"Bam!"
Yeah. Say you're achievement hunting, although you got that one a long time ago.
I think it's like a surprise element, and sometimes it helps me win against hunters because like on turn 8 it's the turn where they kill me, so I'm like, if they haven't killed me, I'm able to kill them.
Turn 8, that's a bad hunter player. They should be killing you on turn 5 or 6. But
yes.
Yeah, I mean they're probably not gonna have much on board, and that's probably gonna be like what, 18 damage likely face. It's
yes.
Surprise reach.
So yeah, so that's why I like this card. It's a surprise.
It's a cool one.
I'm
didn't see realistic play yet.
You're
making it happen.
Yes. I'm so sad that, like, for me, like, Priest was a big part of my year. Control Priest was like such an amazing deck that I loved to play, and everyone hated it. So I kind of feel that every deck that I pick is the one that like everyone hates.
don't worry, everybody hates everything. So whatever deck you pick next, they'll hate it too, and I will too, because I typically hate on everything. But I mean, never. I always try and say this because, you know, as someone who's pretty critical and like likes to say something's not good for the game or healthy for the game or blah blah blah. If you enjoy that deck, don't. Who cares? That's it. Don't blame the person playing it. If you like it, that's awesome. And there's every deck that I would say is problematic or I've complained about, there's a redeeming quality about it. There's something fun about it. Like Control Priest drove me crazy because there was so much random nonsense I couldn't play around. But when you're playing that, it's a lot of fun because every game is so different, right? Like, I understand why that can be fun. And also that was a very skill testing deck that was proven to be a skill testing deck. At higher ranks, it performed a lot better. So I've heard a lot of people arguing that like this Garrote Rogue, which I hate more than most decks out there right now, more than Quest Mage, honestly. But it's okay because it's a skill testing deck. But when Priest was that, it was a problem. So it's funny that, you know, people will hate on certain things for the same reasons, but not at the same, for different reasons at the same time.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I mean, I like playing slower decks, control decks, and I get people that hate on me, hate on that all the time. Like, oh, you just want to make games drag out forever and it's boring, and like, you're never gonna. There's always someone out there that's gonna hate what you're playing because they don't like to lose to it, and it might counter their strategy. People typically just hate what their preference is and what they lose to based on that. And I try and keep that as subjective. Like, I try and be as unbiased as possible now because I have this platform. So I'll actively ask for nerfs to decks that I love and I don't want to see get nerfed, just to try and be not biased. And it's happened a lot. It makes me sad. And now the game is there's so few things I like in the game because I ask for everything to be nerfed that's unhealthy, even if I like it. So I understand it. But I would just try not to take it personally, and I always try and tell that to my viewers that don't, you know, just don't hate on people for playing decks. Like, let them play whatever they want. I never try and do that, or at least not anymore. I used to kind of be mean with that sometimes. I try not to do that.
It's the funniest thing because, like, as you know, I was with Queen Mother this weekend, so I went to see my mom. And so she asked me a question. Like, she's been watching me for 10 months almost, and she still doesn't understand the game, but she understands some part of it. And so she's like, I don't understand. I thought everybody hated Priest, but now I feel that everybody hate Mage. I don't understand. Is it Priest or is it Mage? I'm like, it's everything I'm playing all the time.
It's what you like to play, the slower, more frustrating decks to lose to if you're, in that certain strategy. And I guess the people that like Priest is outvalued and outcontrolled everything back then, and now Quest Mage outvalues in terms of like, well, it's reach and everything now. It's still, and I guess those same people have that same feeling. But again, if you're playing a deck that's like considered top tier, everyone's gonna hate it. Like, you see tons of hate for Garrote Rogue 2 now. That wasn't that hated until it became tier 1, and whatever, if that got nerfed, right? That's getting nerfed. It'll be something else that it'll be, you know, it's always something. So you just gotta, you're never gonna play the deck that everybody likes, because there's no deck that everybody likes.
Yes,
it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen unless you're playing a Kibler deck, but then you're playing a like rank 8,000 legend, but you're Kibler, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah.
Yes, indeed. But I do prefer playing control than aggro. I realize that, like, for me, I like to have to really think that I have like multiple choice of things I can do in one turn. That's what I liked about like all the discovery in Priest, because you really need to think about 3 moves ahead what you're gonna take, compared to like aggro. Like, you just like the first card in your hand, you just put it on the board.
Play the 1-drop, you play the 2-drop, you play the 3, and there are some trading decisions and some reach decisions, but at the end of the day, it's like, how fast can I kill my opponent? And aggro definitely does have more nuance than some people realize, but I've always been a more control and combo player. I'm the same way. I like to think that I can play a bit more of a chess match. I can it's more like stimulating to like have these longer games or multiple paths that I can take, and then I can look back on maybe I could have done this or that. I don't know. I just feel like the games are more rewarding that way, and also just outlasting that opponent that's trying to kill you is always a a satisfying feeling, where they tried so hard. They're the evil, they're the dirty aggro player trying to murder you, and you outwitted them, and they got nothing left, and that I don't know. I always found that very rewarding, and now they never out on cards and stuff, so it's hard to do. But yeah, I'm definitely on that train. I rarely play aggro. I tweeted about playing Pirate Warrior on my Twitter. I played it, and I think I won like all but 3 games in like 20, and none of the games went past turn 6, and I was just like doing other things. It was so boring, but I recovered my rank, I guess. I don't know. I just don't find it rewarding. That's all. I just don't find it stimulating or rewarding to play those style of strategies compared to what you like to play, like the more either control or value or value centric decks, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like to have like always answers. So I don't like when I feel like I'm like stuck in like one thing and I'm not able to like find different ways of winning. I don't like the square box kind of thing. Like, anyways.
And you don't like it being your opponent dictating whether you win or lose too, right? Like, do they have the answer or not? I guess they have an answer. I lost. Whereas you're the one that has that answer instead.
Yeah.
I feel like when you play aggro or more of those style decks, a lot of the time it comes down to did my opponent draw the answer to that, and that to me that feels like my decision making is a lot less, and it's a lot less interesting for me as a player when it's like, oh, they drew like say you're facing a Reno Jackson deck. Did they draw Reno or not? Oh, they did. I won. They did. I lost, and that's the decision. That kind of sucks, at least from my point of view. But that's also an inherent problem with like Highlander decks. But again,
yes, 100%. And so okay, so someone in chat is asking me to translate something to French. So I'm gonna say it in French. Hopefully you're gonna understand it. So Zeddy est un ours salé.
I'm totally not reading Shua's comment. Zeddy is a salty bear. I got it.
Okay, so we're at the part of the interview where we're getting questions from the public. So in chat, if you have particular question you want to ask, you can ask, but don't worry, I will mod and make sure there's no inappropriate question. So Fergie is asking, who is your favorite member of Team 5?
Cora. I love Cora. Cora is my favorite because she makes fun of me, and I always appreciate people that have a. I've enjoyed Cora since day one, since she's been introduced. I've always we like to poke fun at each other, or more her. I don't know. I like her sense of humor. I feel like things. Everything I've heard that she's been involved with, other than that Sword of the Fallen card for Paladin, has been a positive, and it's just it's been really cool to see her flourish. And the next expansion, apparently, she is the lead up. So if I hate it, oh boy, it could be spicy. But no, I'm a big fan of Cora. I'm a big fan of like pretty much all the devs that I've interacted with on Twitter and stuff. My only interaction with them is on Twitter and like social media and stuff, and I might disagree with a lot of things that they do in terms of like card game design stuff, but I've never seen any reason to think they're not good people and nice people and all that. So I'm a big Cora fan, I gotta say. And also Alkali, he's now the community manager, so she's right up there too. She's like been like a really close friend for years for me, so I gotta give Alkali a big shout out.
Oh yes, she's been so sweet. And I'm so happy for her that she got the community manager job.
We're very lucky to have her, to say that much.
Yes, 100%. And okay, so one of the question is ask him why he loves Duels so much. So we haven't talked about Duels, but as you may know, I started as a Duels streamer because when Duels got out, for me it was like I loved it and I played it like lots and lots of hours. I loved it completely. It's been like this for me, Duels, because with all like it's with all the changes all the time.
Mhm.
But I started as a dual player, and most people that got on my stream was like, "Oh, I hate Duels. Why are you streaming this mode?" And funny enough, I made people like I think 20 different people started playing Duels just for the sake of like playing with me at
Mhm.
and they started enjoying it even more than I did. So now I have a big Duels fan base, and I don't play Duels anymore.
I barely have played it. I played it when it launched. I played it recently for like achievement hunting. When it first came, it was just when it came out, it was such a, and I found it very imbalanced. Like the treasures and the passive stuff really turned me off because it was like, did you high roll your passive, you win. You if you don't, you lose. I feel like that's gotten better, and I feel like, you know, it is a new mode. They're trying to figure stuff out, and I feel like it's been out for well over a year now. I don't remember how long it's been out for now. It's been a year plus now, or not yet. It's a year in like January, I think. I can't remember. I don't remember
No,
when it
no,
came
no.
out.
No.
Is it?
I think it's gonna be a year soon.
It's very soon, and they've, you know, they've looked at what the problems have been, and they keep adjusting things. And I've noticed the community for it's growing. I hear a lot more about it every day. I have people in my comments on YouTube talk about it. I have people ask me to stream it all the time. Regis has been really into it. He's really enjoying it. There's a community that's growing there, and the mode's getting better and better. And the more I've played it lately, the more I still don't love it, but I'm seeing how it's improved, and I am gonna keep playing it a bit more and more. And I just think, you know, it was a new mode. They're trying stuff and they're making it better. They have a passionate team working on it. I've gotten to talk to a couple of the devs on Twitter and stuff, and then they've been very open. They're probably the most open to feedback I've seen about like improving any mode about it. Like I think, I can't remember his name is Alec or Tabarak or something like that. He did like a thread just like the other day asking for like any feedback on how you feel we can improve things. Like we want to know. And I feel like, yeah, they're doing a good job listening, and they're even putting rules in like cards can't cost less than 2 or 1, whereas where I wish that was in real Hearthstone a lot of the time. So I feel like it's growing, and I'm happy to see that because I want every mode to do well, and I'm gonna keep dabbling in it a bit more. I don't dislike the mode as much as I used to, that's for sure. I think they've done a lot better job at balancing. I want them to make a leaderboard. Why is there no leaderboard for the mode? They have like this MMR like built by your name, like your ranking number, and there's no leaderboard. I think that'd be just nice to have something for people to shoot for, to know where they're at. So that'd be really, I feel like that'd be very simple. It's kind of silly they haven't done that yet, but
I agree. They should definitely do it. So another question from chat: are you trying to be #1 achievement hunter in Hearthstone?
not really. I've always liked achievements in games. Like when the first time I ever remember it, I think they were the ones that started it. Was like on the Xbox 360 at the gamer score, and I just always wanted to get the highest gamer score I could for I don't know what reason. I just want the number. I literally bought games to get achievement points. Like if they were easy to get all the 1,000 points, I would just buy the game. I didn't care. And then they added to Hearthstone. I'm just like, I want to get all the achievements because I think it's fun to unlock them, even though they don't mean nothing. And I just see them there and I want to get them. But there's just some that are so impossible, like getting 12-0 with everything in arena duels. Like it's theoretically possible. There's a couple people that have done it, but you have to commit so much time and effort to it. And like, I just can't do that. I try and go for it while, you know, on the side, like I'm playing arena or duels. And if I get 12-0, that's great, but I can't go 16 hours a day trying to grind the stuff and retire stuff to like get the right thing. And that's all I really have left anyways. Like I have pretty much everything done except for like 2 mercenaries achievements and then the 12-0s and duels and arena. So it's not something I'm actively trying to do. It just happens to kind of happen because I just like doing them. I don't know. I have no idea what it is about it. I make these achievement videos. Nobody cares about them, but I just want to make them because I think it's fun. And for the odd achievement hunter out there that does care about it and it helps them, that's awesome. So that's cool. But yeah, I have no idea why I find that enjoyable. Most people just don't.
So someone is asking about your favorite game mode, but I think you did answer that earlier in the stream. I think it is Arena, right?
Yeah, like I said, at its peak, I would say Arena, and then it's like a toss up between Standard and Wild, for sure. Like, I think my favorite memories, honestly, like the wild, the crazy wild combos that you can pull off might be like the most ridiculous fun stuff you can do in the game. If I had to put it like absolutely like decision, I'd probably go peak degenerate wild combos back in the day when I played like AV. I made a deck that I will always cherish and remember, that they made a card called Ixlid the Fungal Lord. I think it came out in Kobolds and Catacombs, if I remember correctly, I think. And I wanted to test an interaction. If you played Aviana and then Coon, making your minions cost 1, and you played Ixlid and then Malagos, and then you play Faceless on Malagos, would it make 4 Malagoses? I just wanted to test this. So I made a weird Malagos Druid deck to test this. I was, at the time, the rank 13 in Wild. Like, just regular rank 13, not like Legend or anything. And I tested the interaction, and it worked. And I won my first game. It was spectacular. And then I won my next game. And then I won my next one. And then I won 85% of my games to rank 2 Wild Legend. And that was just super crazy and cool. And that's something that you can't really explore or have happen in like any other format. I feel like, other than Wild, is discover something ridiculous and crazy like that. And it just happened to farm Raza Priest at the time, Reno Priest. They couldn't deal with it at all. And nobody saw it coming, and I obliterated all of them. But yeah, it was fun. And that was the highest Legend I've ever been in Wild. It was just with my own deck. And it was terribly unoptimized. Like, yeah, I didn't even have branching paths, which had come out that expansion, but it was super fun.
That's so cool. Very, very interesting. Okay, so there is one question. Okay, what 4 hero cards will they bring again to Hearthstone, or what would you like to see as a hero card?
Hero cards, they got to do them right. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like hero cards, quests, and all that unless they're limited value. So I'm anticipating the next expansion, there's a good chance the mercenaries are all going to be hero cards. As long as like they have a big impact, that's fine. I don't want to see these infinite value things that just the second they're online, you lose the game. That was always the worst feeling from like old hero cards, is like, oh, they played Jaina, I lost. It was fun for one person, but horrible for the other. I like more stuff like maybe like the Galacrons, like the Warrior one or Shaman one, where it's like a big one-time bomb. You get a new hero power that does stuff, but doesn't necessarily win the game. Or even like Blood Reaver Gul'dan, although it's ridiculously powerful, where you get all the demons and the life suck part, like the hero power. You could still theoretically beat it. I just don't want like I don't like the infinite value stuff where you're just hopeless, or if it is so infinite value, it's kind of weird and clunky, like Rexar was originally, was kind of weird and clunky and fun, and then it became kind of crazy later with Lifesteal Rush. But yeah, if you're gonna go infinite value, like they like to do, like the reason I'm worried about it is because United Storm, when a lot of the quests have infinite value, and that's why I think a lot of it's problematic. If you're gonna do infinite value, make it kind of fun, bad infinite value. And if you want to make an impactful, good hero card, make it a one-time, really strong impact that can win the game, but has some answers. So that's kind of the thing. And yeah, they're gonna make it based off mercenaries, I would imagine, if that happens. And if they were to bring back a hero card like from the past, I guess, yeah, something along, even like Garrosh. I love Garrosh. Nobody played that card. You got a big, cool cleave weapon and whirlwind. You got to build your enraged stuff around it. I really like that, but yeah, I didn't really see a heck of a lot of play other than me and Dead Man's Hand and stuff. So I like to see Garrosh come back. I think he's cool, and he would see zero play, but it would
Good.
That's what I would want to bring back. Yeah. So.
Talking about Garage, another question was, who's your favorite mercenary to use in PvP?
The whichever one is low level to make me face a bot. I literally have never played. Like I play like 2 games of PvP in mercenaries, and I just kind of I don't have a preference. I'll go with Diablo because apparently he's broken, and I got him diamond in my pre-order. I definitely don't regret.
That's really great. I have the 2 diamonds ones to.
Have you been playing mercenaries at all?
Yes, well, I started playing Mercenary when it got out, but I think one of the problem I faced was like the grind, because I was going to grind in PvE, and the problem was like not like, I mean, it's not very interesting to stream when you're grinding against a bot. So and I mean, with the job that I have, for me, like every time I play Hearthstone, I stream. So
yeah.
So yes, it's like I wish I could be able to like grind and being able to stream, but it's been a difficult fine line for me to find.
Yeah, that's what Regis and it's just like we just talked about that, and like just to get to that. The part where the PvP is more interesting, you have to do tons of grinding to get to that point. And that's just a killer for people that don't have that time. It's just, yeah, I think that's a big problem they're seeing with the mode. And I know they've talked about addressing it, so hopefully they will. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to have that issue, and it's unfortunate. I don't know if the gameplay is that like the problem for me with the PvP is like I don't even know if the gameplay is that good, because I don't want to go through that whole hurdle maxing out a bunch of mercs to even find out. So I don't even, just haven't bothered. It's just decentivized to even try it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Okay, so let me see. I mean, there was a lot of questions, but I mean, I cannot take all of your question, guys. So I'm gonna say a final question. And by the way, my mom is in chat and she says hi.
I saw hi, Queen Mother. Always, she's like, I could see where you seem to get your positivity, because she's always super positive in chat too.
Of course,
so it must be the most positive family in Quebec.
Yes, we try.
My family is very grumpy, so it makes sense.
So, when you don't play Hearthstone, what do you do?
Honestly, I don't do a lot other than like I am so committed to like I'm thinking videos and all that stuff, but I like to play other games. I don't really see much of like family and friends as much, especially when the pandemic happened. Like it just cut everything off. Yes. I used to like hang out with my friends like every once in a while, see my family. Like I'll see my mom and dad here and there, but yeah, I typically like to play I'll play other games or watch like YouTube content. I've been playing Metroid Dread like crazy. The game only takes like 10 hours or so to beat, but I've already beat it now like probably 10 or 12 times. I just can't stop playing it. I love it. I'm trying to beat it as like fast as I can. So I'll play other games. I'll watch a lot of YouTube content. I like watching, like I mentioned earlier, speedrunning stuff. I like watching like summoning Salt videos. He does these amazing speedrun like documentary style videos that he's got over 1 million subs. I was part of the first 10K, so I get to be all act super cool about that. But no, I like watching speedrunning content, and I used to be like super into movies. I have like a movie, you can see behind me, I have like movie collection in my house is over 1,000. But
whoa.
Yeah, I haven't watched the many movies I've watched the last like 3 years since I've been a 4 years since I've been a content creator is like probably like a dozen. I just don't find the time for a lot of stuff anymore. I'm just so focused on content creation. You know, like I've just always been someone, when I get driven on something, I just focus in on it. When I wanted to become an accountant, I went to school. I did everything to get recruited. I graduated with honors, got recruited by a firm, and then when I was in the firm. I worked 80 hours a week, and then it's just like I'm somebody that just gets on that mindset, and I'm just all in. So yeah, I play a bit of other games. I try and watch other stuff, but overall I'm pretty all in on Hearthstone and content creation, and I live, eat, and breathe and do this stuff, and I'm working on maxing out the rewards track again, so gotta get to that 400. I think I'll get there. It's gonna be close though.
Oh my god. I think you're the only, like, do you know anybody else that does it? Like as much as you? The reward track and the achievements and like the 100% achievements everywhere.
I know there's people that have done the rewards track, because it's some people just like they bought like do odd warrior bots in wild and cheese it that way. I do it just straight up, although I have been using that mercenaries trick lately. But achievement wise, I haven't seen anyone post more achievement points other than I got a screenshot from someone in China that had more. Other than that, I haven't seen anybody. So I would like to say that I'm probably in the top 10 in terms of the last like 4 years of people that have played Hearthstone on the planet, and especially across like all different modes. Like I play everything. So
that's crazy.
For somebody that gets a lot of flack for hating the game, I would have to say I probably play it more than everybody. So if you played it as much as I did, or I do, you probably have some issues too with it, you know?
My mom called you the achievement guys.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, and I like it, and I love doing the guides, and it's super fun, and we do it on stream, and it's always like I like as much as I complain about the really stupid achievements that are like RNG or opponent based, it's so much more fun when you do those, because then when it actually happens, it's quite the fun moment. So I like that they throw a couple of those in there for sure.
Okay, good. And do you have a question for me?
When are you coming to Vancouver? You said you're
soon.
We got it soon. Oh, the
soon.
Blizzard response. I get the soon. No, they said tournament mode was coming soon too, but
but in 2022, not in 2021 for sure, but 2022.
And I guess I'll ask, what are your plans? Like, what is your ideal, like, what do you want to happen for yourself as a content creator in the Hearthstone world? Like, what would you like to, where do you see yourself in like a year or two from now?
Well, I hope to be Twitch partner. When I hear a story about the Warshak that has been like trying to get Twitch partner for like 4 years, and he has like so many viewers, I'm like, I don't understand how he didn't get it. It brings my hopes down.
To be fair, he's a complete anomaly, I think, on that one. Like we had Engine and Chat has been, it just got they're partnering Hearthstone streamers all the time. But yeah, Warshak is such an odd one. I feel like you're well on your way. I wouldn't be discouraged by that. I don't know what the deal is with him. But yeah, there's some random people that just for some reason just can't get it. I don't understand it. But even myself, I applied 5 or 6 times before I got it. 5 or 6 times? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it just takes a while. And sometimes maybe there's more raid numbers in their average than they're aware of, because they factor in all the raid stuff. Like the first 3 times I applied, I was only at that average because I had big hosts. So the first time I got to 100 average on my own, I got accepted right away. So it can vary, but yeah, I wouldn't be discouraged by that. I think you're on an amazing trajectory. The fact that you do this like while doing a full-time, I don't understand how you do it. While you do a full-time job is incredible, and I would be shocked if you don't have a check mark by your name this time next year. That would be legitimately shocking to me.
Okay, good. That's nice. I like that. It brings the hope that I need.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, no, I want to continue. For me, it's like super important to I think to have like representativity as a woman, like in the game. There's like not enough women. Like I've seen some great people in chat, like Lily, but we're not so many female content creator in Hearthstone, so it's great. Like, I mean, yeah, I really hope that there's gonna be more, and I feel that it to continue is to it's also when you do that, it's to help other female content creators say, okay, if she does it, I can do it.
And Tremituous is one of my big followers. Just 1,000 bits from he just recently moved back to Canada, so sharing the love.
Oh my god, thank you so much. That's so sweet.
I agree with the like female representation in Hearthstone has been something I've tried to help and fight for. It's been but now we have Alkali as community manager. I think that's going to help a lot. I always try in my damnedest to push and plug every new female Hearthstone content creator I can, because I just feel like it's so important. Because I look at my YouTube numbers, my numbers watched by female is 2%. 2% of my viewers are female, and that just feels really weird that it'd be so alienated just towards men. So I want that scene to grow, and I'm super happy to see someone like yourself representing it so well with like just awesome energy. And also I just like the fact you play all the modes. There's so many streamers that just for some reason will only play like one mode, when Hearthstone is like all these amazing modes to try out. And if you're discouraged with one or annoyed with one, just pop to another one. Like right now, I'm really annoyed with Arena after I was loving Arena because I was annoyed with Standard, and now I might hop to something else. Like that's really good. And I'm just really happy to see you're doing well, and to see people like Lily in chat, and you know, more females out there. And I just would love to see more in the scene and more representation in events and stuff. And we're seeing that finally. Had to push and fight for that for some reason, but I think that will hopefully be a thing of the past, where there's like 1 or 2 women in a sea of like 30 guys in an event. And yeah, hopefully you'll be one of them too. Hopefully be one of those people involved, and that'd be great. So it should be like an even playing field. Like you want to encourage, you know, people to come and play this game. It's fun for everyone. It doesn't matter what sexual gender you have, you know, or whatever. It's silly to me. It's just silly.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And yeah, for me it was like to be in this community and to see how few women we are, like playing the game, being content creator. I feel that people just don't know like that they're allowed to play it, and it's not just a guy thing.
Yeah.
Like so yeah, no, I really hope to see more women playing the game. Okay, well, thank you so much. It was so much fun. I really appreciate you coming on my second episode of Heart to Heart with Heart Queen.
I'm looking forward to seeing the series continue and who you'll have next time. You had Draco Cat the first time. I lurked a little bit during that, and we'll have to see who you can get. You can always, if there's somebody you have in mind, you can always bug me. I might be able to help out too. So always let me know.
I think I'm gonna try to have also women, so we can like have kind of like even representation. Which I think it's gonna be very hard, but I will try my best.
Well, I'm sure I know a lot of them would be more than open to it. So
good. Again. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Zeddy. Have a wonderful day. In the 3 hours difference we have. And yes, see you in chat or on ladder.
I don't want to see you on ladder. You'll bully me again. Well, I'll see you in chat. How about that?
I like that. But I mean, I don't want to wish you to have insomnia, because that's usually when you get in my chat. But
it always happens. It doesn't matter. I've struggled with my whole life. It always happens. So yeah.
Okay, good. Well, thank you so much, Zeddy, and have a wonderful day.
Well, thanks for having me, and have a wonderful day yourself.
Thank you.